Okay, so having said that, now I'm just gonna we'll just do a little pep talk. At the end of it, I'm gonna throw the forum open for questions for all of you. I think none of you has cleared any ATPL exam as yet. So all of you, it just makes more significance, and it's all the more important for you to consider utilizing this lull time and doing something productive. Okay, one of the favorite questions of interviewers are, okay, what did you do after you came back from US or from South Africa, or you finished your flying, you got your license from the last 1 year or 6 months, what exactly were you doing? So this would really, uh, in the sense, be a very solid answer that this is exactly what we have been doing. I cleared all my ATPL exams. I ended up doing a SMS course, so it'll add up. Okay, so I'm just going to share my screen. One of you can confirm, and then along with the slides, we'll go ahead. Is this visible?
Yes, sure.
All right. Okay, guys. So just quickly running through ATPL, Airline Transport Pilot License. That's what we call it. It's the higher category pilot license, one step higher than CPL, and the last stage. After ATPL, there is no more double ATPL, triple ATPL, nothing. Okay, so ATPL is the higher category license, which is a must, which is a requirement for you to fly in command of an aircraft, which is with all up weight of above 5,700 kgs and from the left hand seat, two pilot operation. Okay. The single pilot operated aircrafts, you could be a PIC even with a CPL. All right. So, what is the ATPL all about? So, we'll just quickly run through, a quick exam snapshot. What is the eligibility, the training, certification requisites, what are the passing criteria? A lot of it is just quite, generic in nature, and it's all a repetition of CPL. So I think this is all of you are aware of license level airline transport pilot written knowledge credit. So what do you understand by the written knowledge credit? So written knowledge credit here was basically the validity of your exams. Okay. So once you clear your exams from the day your result is published, your validity of the examination is 5 years from that day. Okay. It was 2.5 years until a few months or a few years back. Thankfully, it has changed and it's been upgraded to 5 years. With 2.5 years, a lot of people used to have this problem, like, all the excellent and smart kids like you all who had utilized their lull time and cleared their ATPL, but unfortunately had to wait for a few quarters for a vacancy to come out. And by the time the vacancies came out, let's say they got into the airline, then they took time to finish the airline training. Because it's not like tomorrow you get into Indigo or Air India Express and just 1 month later you will be released online. It doesn't happen that way. After you're absorbed, a general timeline after getting absorbed is on an average about an year, okay? Give or take 6 months, but it is on an average an year. So then after you release, that's when you start accumulating hours. So by the time you have 1,500 hours, the 2.5 years time frame from the time you cleared your ATPL exam is already passed. Okay, so a lot of people had to give their ATPL exams again. And anytime you have to sit for an examination which is repetitive in nature, and although psychologically, when you know that you are sitting for this exam for no fault of yours, the regulation is such, it hits you mentally. It kind of dissuades you from appearing again, and it takes a toll on your professional career. So thankfully, it was revised. It's now to 5 years. 5 years is a decent amount of time. So if you all were to sit for ATPL exams today, get enrolled, in classes provided by us as well at Airship, uh, or either way, and you end up clearing your ATPL exams, 5 years is a lot of time. 5 years is that time in which you need not worry about anything. You will get a job. You may take as much time as you want in getting your training done, coming and getting line released, accumulating your hours. You can do everything and still be absolutely safe in terms of your exam validity. Okay. So why I spoke a bit at length on this is till the time when the credit was only 2.5 years, maybe it may not have made a lot of sense for you to do ATPL. In fact, I used to tell my peer group and the younger siblings of my batchmates and my peer group that they really don't have to give their ATPL exams right now. Delay giving your ATPL exams till the time you at least touch 1,000 hours or 1,100 hours or 1,200 hours. But now you need not. You can actually start preparing right now, okay, and make use of this lull time. In fact, I think just 3 or 4 days back, DGC had published the next schedule of examination. I think it's somewhere between 25th and 28th of June. So some of you who would want to take that chance with some, a light subject, let's say a meteorology. ATPL only has three exams: radio aids, navigation, and meteorology. Okay, so you can take your chance with the meteorology, study and go. Who knows? What if you just clear the exam? So you can consider doing this. Moving on, the mode is all computer based, multiple choice. That's something we know. 70% is the passing. Total papers, five. I mean,
Excuse me,
they've
sir.
yeah.
Sir, could you please confirm what screen should we be seeing right now? Because we are on the exam day checklist screen as of.
Did you see the screen change? Exam snapshot. That's what you see.
So it says exam day checklist. If somebody else could confirm if it's a glitch from my end or is
Yeah,
it.
I
It's
have the
just
same thing,
Exam
sir.
exam day checklist. Huh? Okay. Give me a second. Are you seeing the first page now? I think it's stuck. Then let me just reshare it again. Visible now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So I was here. Okay. Exam snapshot. 70% passing marks. Then what is the eligibility to sit in the ATPL exams? So okay. Before that, is this screen visible now? Is this page visible?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay. So quite straightforward. You need a CPL naturally. Uh, and all these, the licenses along with it. English language proficiency of at least level 4. Uh, Above level 4, you have a level 5 and a level 6, which is valid for lifetime. All right. So age 21 years for license issue. Exams may be written. So, you cleared your 12th examination. You were very quick. You did your CPL exams. You went for your flying and you got a job, let's say, at the age of 19. So you can sit for examinations. There's no problem. However, the ATPL will only be issued. You may have all your requirements. Let's say you're a extra, diligent and a hardworking guy. You got a job at the age of 19, an airline job. You're released. You start to build your hours. You have cleared all your exams, but now you will have to wait till the time you turn 21. Okay, so that's just a regulation. Then, yeah, naturally, you need to have a class two acceptable for the booking of the examination. But once you have your hours and everything, you need class one. So quite straightforward. No real implication for us because we are all CPL holders. So naturally, we have done our class one examination. This is all right. So then training and certification, roughly around 350 hours of DGCA syllabus theory. It could be self-study or it could be a ATO classroom. Okay. So here, this webinar, it's only fair to say that one of our aims of the webinar is to try and tell you that is it that we at Airship offer. Uh, I will take you through a quick run through of a website, of maybe not more than 2 to 3 minutes at the end of the webinar so that you all can see. We are an online based training institute at the moment, uh, which gives a sense of a flexibility to all the students to be, in their homes, in their respective cities. There is no real need for you to spend extra thousands of rupees and come over to Delhi, to Ramphal Chowk, look for a PG or a rental house, stay there for 3 months and go. Okay, you can do the same things. Most of us with our age, would be freelancing and working also somewhere. So this online mode gives you a sort of a flexibility because the classes which are conducted in the same way as they are conducted physically in a room. Okay, they are conducted for 4 to 5 hours daily at a certain time, and the classes are recorded. The recorded classes then they go automatically onto our server and which is available on the website. So once you are with us, enrolled with us, let's say if you during the day hours you're working somewhere, you can always come back home in the evening, take a break, and then go through whatever you missed in the morning in the class at the convenience of your home, from your home, and at the time of your choosing. So that is something which we offer. More about it once we reach at the end. So that's why I say, you could do a self-study or you could enroll yourself ATO classroom. Then you need a RTRA license from Wireless and Planning Commission, WPC, for radio telephony. What is the flight experience that you need for the license issue? You need to have total of 1,500 hours minimum. Okay, out of which there should be PIC of 500 hours. Okay, and then these are the intricacies which really don't shouldn't bother you right now at this stage. Talking about the license issue is for a later stage. But just to know that you need 1500 hours and minimum 500 hours PIC. Okay, then you need level D simulator with previous 6 months. So again, this is why level D simulator, because this is for your recency of your LR and IR. LR is license renewal, IR is instrument renewal. So if you have CPL holders and multi, if you remember, you would have done your instrument rating also, either on single engine or on your multi engines. So now that instrument rating needs to be kept current. The validity of instrument rating is 12 months. So whenever you have your examination, you've cleared your exams and you have your experience and you go for license renewal, you need to ensure that your IR is also current. Okay. So again, 70% in each written paper. Papers may be attempted in any order or mixed session. Pass valid is for 5 years. Now, the papers may be attempted in any order as so there are primarily three examinations: MET, radio aids, and navigation. When you clear your so in ATPL, there is no logic of technical examination. If you were to fly from India, you have to give technical general and technical specific. If you fly outside, then you don't. All that logic doesn't apply here. Okay, in ATPL, it's simply three exams, three written exams, and two vivas. And that two viva can also be one viva if given together. So how it works is radio aids and navigation. These are two different subjects. All right. And then the third is MET. If you clear your metrology, there is no requirement to give any viva. Okay, there is no DGCA conducted viva. However, if you clear navigation and radio aids, then you are required to give a viva as well. All right. The viva is conducted in the premises of DGCA compound conducted by the FSD, Flight Standards Directorate. Okay. You will have 2 to 3 to 4 to 5, depending on the day of the year, the workload at DGCA, uh, 2, 3, 4, or 5 DGCA SFOIs, FOIs, DGCA staff will be sitting in that interview. Okay. And that Viva generally revolves around your relevant topics. Let's say if you've gone in for radio aids, uh, you can expect, and they can ask you, you can expect them to ask you your CPL level radio aid stuff. Let's say what is a VOR, what is a VOT, what is a Doppler VOR, what's a dead space, what's a skip distance. They can go back to basics. There's nothing stopping them from going back to basics. What is the difference between a primary radar, secondary radar? What is the principle of weather radar? How does it work? They may get into it. And they may also ask the current ongoing issues, like we've got these geopolitical tensions happening all around the world. So as a result, there is a lot of GPS spoofing which is happening. Okay, we experience it daily when we fly. It's happening close to the Indo-Pakistan border around Amritsar and Lahore. It happens when we're flying over the Iranian airspace and primarily the border of Turkey and Iran, because that side there's a lot of GPS spoofing. Now, what is GPS spoofing is? GPS spoofing, in a very layman term, is the blocking of GPS signals of the aircraft. Now, when the aircrafts don't receive GPS signals, they start to behave in a very erratic way. Okay, you will see your map shifts happening. You will see the heading going all haywire. So these can have repercussions on the safety of the flights. So now they can ask basic level stuff. They can ask the current, ongoing, recent, latest exam things which are happening. GPS spoofing. Similarly, navigation also they'll ask you, either the basic level stuff. What is the oblate spheroid? It's the Earth's shape. Okay, so diameter. What is the diameter? Uh, what is a rhumb line? Great circle. Which is the shortest way? What are northern lights? What is the convergency? What is the benefit of convergency? And things like this. And then they may get deeper. So what I'm trying to say is the Viva is a mandatory thing. A lot of people try and give navigation and radio aids a written exam together in the hope that they clear them together, and it's very easy to clear them together as long as you're well prepared. The benefit of clearing these two exams together, NAV and radio aids, is you don't have to sit for two different interviews. Okay. So now your interview date will just be one. And on that same date, they will ask you a little bit of navigation and a little bit of radio aids. So you're done with that one interview, and both your exams are taken care. So how you strategize is eventually going to be your call. However, everyone they suggest that it is advisable that you give your navigation and radio aids examination together, purely because these subjects are not really very different from each other. Okay, the radio aids are only used to navigate the aircraft largely. Okay, look at it from this perspective. So it's an examination which is very closely. I mean, these subjects are very closely related to each other. Once you sit for navigation, might as well prepare your radio aids also. Apply for both the exams, give your best shot, and if you clear, then you just have to give one Viva instead of two. If you clear these exams in two different attempts, then you will have no option but to give for two different Vivas. So people do it either way. Think about it. Okay, so if you have the time right now and you can diligently sit. So what people do is they clear nav and radio aids in one go because of this benefit, and they clear metrology in a different attempt. So the attempt which is coming from 25th to 28th June, that's what I said. Most of you can actually start preparing for metrology because you have 1 month. Let's say in 1 month, if you think nav and radio is it's not possible, it's going to be a bit heavy. Okay, you can think of nav and radio. It's maybe in the next session. Take up metrology right now. All right. So then, what is the reattempt policy? Again, you have four normal sessions: Jan, April, July, October, which is based on every 3 monthly cycle. If a candidate fails a paper, they may reapply for the next available session. There's no lifetime attempt cap. You can, reattempting as many times. There is no cap on it. Apart from the four regular sessions, you have on-demand sessions also. Okay, so this is something for which you'll have to keep regularly visiting the DGC website and the Pariksha website, and there only you will see these updates. All right, so yeah, then the last point, new pass resets the 5-year validity window for that subject. So let's say if someone had cleared their ATPL exam many, many years back and now has for 5 years, strangely, never got a job or did not accumulate 1500 hours and the exams have gotten expired. So the moment you do it again, your 5 years will start again. All right, so this is the first one, general navigation. So again, you can just kind of have a look. These are all familiar topics: Earth models, lat long, convergence, formulas, great circle, rump line, UTC, LMT, everything. All of this we all had done during our CPL. Okay, so airspeed ISR corrections, dead reckoning not so much. 1 into 60 rule, CP, PNR, endurance, all these. So all these topics will be covered in the classes which are provided by us as well. Uh, it's just a recap of what you did a year back, 2 years back, 3 years back during your CPL. Okay, so it really is of a great help to be guided by an instructor because it cuts down your time of preparation. Otherwise, you'll only be reading each and every page of your CPL, which is not needed. Okay, this flight performance and planning is it's not a different subject. It's basically just a part of that navigation only. So don't bother too much about it. Then you have radio aids and instruments. Okay, so again, loop aerial theory. These are all the errors: coastal diffraction, quadrantal error. Similarly, for the VOR, DME, ILS, autoflight, standby P2 system, the capsule contracting, expanding. This one is contracting, that one is expanding. What will happen to your true altitude, indicated altitude, density altitude, and the relations. Okay, so to be honest, ATPL examinations are not really any different. It's only the Viva, which is the additional part or the interesting part. Written examination is largely the same. Okay. And then metrology, same ISA and everything related to ISA. Uh, what is the different pressure gradient force, wind types, masses, okay, and your cloud microphysics, CB, icing. Now, these things, they also form a great topic for Viva because as an airline or jet, you don't fly at 2000 feet altitude, 1000 feet altitude, 5000 feet altitude. You fly at 30,000 feet and above, flight level 300 and above. Okay. Boeing fleets, they fly at 410, 430. In fact, the Airbus 350s also, they can fly up to 430. So these altitudes are such, and these phenomena are exclusively relevant, and from a flight point of view, are a great threat to the aircraft which are flying at these altitudes. Now, which phenomena? What you see on your screen here: icing, okay, clear ice, uh, the hail growth, something known as uh, crystal ice. what is crystal icing? Crystal air icing. So crystal air icing is a different concept which uh, even the engine anti-icing and the anti-icing functions of these modern aircrafts is not able to reduce the threat of crystal air icing. Now, crystal air icing is a completely different phenomena. Okay, so but what is it? It can be a question which is asked in your Viva. Okay, then your different turbulence types. Convective turbulence, we are all familiar with. We can see it with our eyes right now. We are sitting in the month of June. From tomorrow onwards, this is called the pre-monsoon season. So pre-monsoon season is the best time to kind of see, your convective build-ups and all. However, at the altitudes of flight level 300 and above, there is another phenomena which is very particular and a very peculiar thing, which is clear air turbulence, CAT. So many a times, in the interview panels, they will push forward a small significant wind chart in front of you and ask you to decode it just to check your elementary knowledge that do you even know how to read those signs, that what does this triangle mean? This triangle means it's 50 knots. What are these lines mean? That this each individual line means 10 knots. So that means the total speed of that jet stream is around 100 knots, 110 knots. Elementary stuff, but they do ask you.
So sorry to cut you off. I just want to know like which interview are we talking about, because metrology doesn't have like the oral exam, right?
Yeah, no, metrology doesn't have any oral examination, but they do check you on these elementary metrology questions while you're gone for your interview in your nav and radio. It's also.
Okay, sir.
Okay, because anti-icing system which uses bleed, now these are a bit technical in nature, but let's say if there is a guy, because like I said, you will have FOIs sitting from, in that interview. Now, FOIs are basically pilots of different organizations who are working in DGC on deputation. So someone could be a 320 rated guy from Indigo or Air India. Someone could be a 737 guy from a Akasa or SpiceJet. Someone could be a wide body guy from a 78 or a 350. So if you tomorrow are going to go and give your interview, see, in your case, let's say you all guys clear your ATPL exams and go for your interview and you still don't have a job. In your case, they may not get into too much of a detail because they understand you don't have the airline experience. Okay. Where I'm getting to, or what I'm trying to tell you, is the experience, how it is in an interview Viva, in a ATPL Viva. If you are an airline guy, then they don't just limit themselves to navigation or radio aids. They go deeper. Okay. So they ask you these questions because clear air icing is a threat. Airbus and Boeing, both of them have not been able to find a solution to it because they have anti-icing systems on board, but they are not able, anti-icing systems don't work on clear air ice. It's a different threat altogether. So they talk about it. At that point in time, the candidate cannot say, sir, this is not navigation, so I will not be able to answer. Okay. But in your case, tomorrow, let's say if you all reach the interview stage and you're still waiting for a job, you don't have a job, then you can't, then you can expect more or the questions to be asked on what is a PANSOPS, what is a RNP, what is a RNAV, what is the difference between RNAV, RNP, what is the onboard uh, self-contained aids, what is the RAIN, GPS, and they may go deeper into the threats of icing on your type of aircraft which you had flown, your carburetor icing and these things. Okay. So then moving on, after metrology, then what books can you generally use? These are all those books which I'm sure most of us uh, are quite aware of. For regulations here, Bali, and now this is not a suggestion that you only stick to them, whatever you're comfortable with. I think please start with the notes of your CPL classes. All of you would have enrolled yourself in some sort of CPL class in whichever year you did your CPL. Please go back to your notes first. Okay, review your notes, and then if you want, you can get over here. Navigation, Keith Williams, Trevor Thome, Matt IC Joshi, RX, RK Bali. So these are all familiar books. I mean, they had always been there from my time. They're also there till date. Only the new editions have come in. So nothing much to mention on this page here. Okay, so this is again just a sort of a plan with which how we plan to do here in Airship. So not so much of any relevance right now. Exam day checklist, again, standard stuff. You need to have your ID, hall ticket. Please carry your scientific computers and your calculators, pencil and eraser, and rest everything stays out. So much so your Apple Watches are also, they generally insist that you please keep them out. As long as you have normal analog watches, it's fine. Okay, so then once you clear your exam, please apply for the knowledge test pass certificate. I mean, get your result sheets downloaded from the Pariksha, this thing. Continue logbook build up towards 1500 hours. Complete multi-crew type reading, sim test, the one that I spoke about, license renewal and instrument renewal. And then you clear your ATPL. So that's pretty much it at the end. Just a quick recap that a lot of people, what they don't do is clear the ATPL exams while they can. Right now is the best time, guys. Please make the most of it. There is a benefit that the validity has been increased to 5 years. So please don't let go of this opportunity. As I've sat in interview panels, I know it, it sends a very different type of an impression to the interviewers that he or she is a candidate who has cleared the ATPL exams. It also gives us some extra bandwidth of asking you questions only to to kind of cement our belief that you are a good candidate. Okay, so please make use of this lull time, consider enrolling and preparing your ATPL exams. So with this, I think I'll leave the floor open to questions, if any. And once we are done with questions, I'll just quickly run through quickly our website on Airship. It won't take more than 2 to 3 minutes. I'll just show, how what is all there for us to offer. Okay. So any questions, please do let me know.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes, Payal.
Sir, the question is the validity of 5 years that we're talking of. Is it when we clear the written examination plus the Viva, or like if I opt for clearing just the written examination for now, let's say for
Viva.
navigation?
No, from the
So
Viva.
written
From
plus Viva. Okay.
That's right. Because without the Viva, that particular examination is not considered as cleared. It's just, 50-60% cleared. The remaining percentage is of the Viva. So you have
Uh,
to clear it.
Got it. So, and sir, could you please also throw a little light on how the written and Viva part works in the sense, what's the gap between writing the written examination and then appearing for the Viva? And let's say if we are not able to clear the Viva in the first go, what's the process
Okay.
thereafter?
Yeah, okay. Sure. I'll talk about it. Just give me 30 seconds. I'll be back. I'm just going to mute myself. Just give me 30 seconds. Huh? I got a
Sure,
call
sir.
to pick up. Just 30. Yes, guys. Okay. So, the answer to your question, Payal, that how it works in the sense, first of all, I think it's clear to everyone that out of the three subjects, two, NAV and radioids, need also, they both carry a Viva with them. The benefit of giving these two exams together is you end up giving only one Viva instead of two. Now, how many Vivas can you give? Okay, first of all, when can you give the Viva? So the thing is, even for Viva, you need to fill up your application form the same way you fill it up for your normal examinations. Okay. Now you cannot fill up the Viva application in the same session when you planning to sit for your return because you have not yet cleared your written. So that means naturally there'll always be a one session gap. So if you've cleared your written examination in April, you can appear for the Viva in the July session. So that is the lowest, that is like the smallest minimalistic gap that you can think of. Having said that, the other part is it's not mandatory for you to sit in the Viva in the very next session. It is your prerogative. So if I have cleared my written examination of NAV or radioids or both, let's say in January, and after which, let's say there's a wedding in my family, and I'm gonna be busy. I know that I will not get the time to study and prepare. I can by all means choose to not sit in the April session. There is no embargo. I can decide to sit in the July session for the written which I had cleared in January. Okay, so it is going to be your call. Ideally, nobody delays it for far too long. Because if you delay it for far too long, then you're giving those interviewers, a perfect recipe to ask you 10 more questions and make you uncomfortable, on the very basic question that why did you not think of clearing your Viva in the last 7 months? You really won't have any answer. And you can't say, ki, I had a wedding in my family because that cuts a bit of irresponsible kind of face to them. So everyone tries to give them ASAP. So this is, I hope I've made myself clear in terms of how quickly you can give your Viva, and is there any mandatory clause to it? No. And third thing is, you have 3 attempts of Viva. So it so happens, let's say in January, you've cleared your written exam. The April session, you sat for your Viva, you could not clear it. So that is going to be counted as your first attempt. Now you can again apply only for Viva. You don't have to, if you have not cleared your Viva in the first attempt, it's not that you need to sit for your exam again, your written examination again. No, you don't. Because with one written examination, you get three Viva attempts. If you're not cleared first Viva attempt in April, come July, you can apply again altogether only for Viva one more time. Okay. That would be your second attempt. If you do not clear your second attempt, then you can subsequently apply in the September, October session the last time. That would be your third time. If you do not clear it even in your third time, then now it's mandatory for you to give your written exam again. Is this clear to everyone?
So basically,
Right?
we'll get 3 attempts for the.
That's right. That's right. You get three attempts. Okay. And you
Uh,
can pace these three attempts according to your requirement. If you want to give these attempts back, back to back, your call. If you have given one attempt and then you want, you kind of self-introspected and you thought, no, yeah, I wasn't too prepared, in my last attempt. I need to sit down for a few months, study, talk to the seniors. There's somebody in my family, let's say, brother, father, uncle, auntie who's a senior airliner captain somewhere. I need to sit with them, understand what is a RNI, what is a RNP. I need to give some time. You can always skip the intervening attempts. And you can sit for a April attempt, not sit for a July attempt, and then again sit for your October attempt. There is no embargo to it for how long can you go. The only limit is you only have three attempts. So you have to clear your Viva in one of these three attempts for that exam to be considered as passed. If not, then you'll have to sit for the written exams again.
and so same would be applicable if we like clear navigation and radio in one go. We are going to get 3 attempts for the Viva again. That would be a single Viva. 3 attempts to clear that particular Viva. Otherwise, we'll have to write both the examinations again.
So if you clear your nav and radio edge together and you fill up the Viva application in the subsequent session, you will just have one interview. First of all, that is clear. Now that one interview, I've never come across in my last more than 18 years of experience that because now that one interview is either going to be pass or it is going to be fail. There is no midway that, okay, since this was only your first, this was your combined interview, so navigation, so you have passed, but radio aids you have not. I've never come across. However, if they want, they can do it. They can tell you today from this interview, your navigation is okay, but Miss Pyle, I think you need to work a bit more on the radio aids. So then that is the result for you. So that means your navigation will be considered pass, and for radio aids, that session will be considered as the first session. So now you will have two more sessions.
Understood, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, but that doesn't happen. I'm telling you, I've never come across because that would be a tad bit stupid on part of DGCA to be saying that because the candidate has come for one common interview. Either it's a pass or it's not a pass. Yeah, unless two different interviews, then it's a different thing altogether. Okay, so
Got it,
anyone
sir.
else?
Yes, sir. Another last question, sir. I was just wondering, you were telling something about like safety courses or something that would look good on our resume. Can you go a little more detail in that?
Okay, so just give me a second. Okay, Akash, I'm just gonna be sharing my screen again, just not to go in any detail, but just to tell you where to go and look for these courses.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so can you see it now?
Yes, sir. It's visible.
So you need to go to iata.org, iata.org. Okay, there are many courses. I mean, not all courses are like available for everyone. There would be some courses which are tailor-made only for an airline organization. Okay, so an employee of an airline only can conduct, undergo them. Then there will be so many other courses which are available for normal individuals, just like you and me, who can sitting from our home. You'll have our online courses. So you see this safety management systems fundamentals e-learning, 2-hour e-learning course. Get the course outline. What is it about? There's a small trailer over here, how it's going to benefit you. Then what is the amount, course fee by user, USD $150, etc. So what I was trying to say is you can do these courses. Now, safety management system is a very important, concept which is in use at this very second. by all the airlines across the world. In India, Air India, everyone, safety management system. How do you manage the systems or the operations or the things of your airline safely? There is a way, if you introduce a new aircraft, if you introduce a new procedure, if you introduce a new SOP, if you introduce something as small as introducing a new boiler and an oven on an aircraft, you need to carry out a safety risk assessment. How do you carry out a safety risk assessment? What is the probability of a threat? What is the risk associated with the threat? How do you mitigate it? How do you introduce new procedures which can be implemented in order to mitigate a particular threat? So this whole concept is all called safety management. Okay, so if you've done it in detail, if you've done a few courses, like this is the elementary one, right? Fundamentals. Then there would be, once you're done with fundamentals, then there'll be a little more intrinsic, more detailed course. If you do 1, 2, or 3 of these courses and you understand the gist of what exactly is the SMS, and you write it in your resume, and let's say if the captain who's sitting there in the interview panel had to touch upon a few terminologies on SMS and you ended up answering them, you are a done deal. You'll land yourself a job, in those interviews. So I'm saying these are things which create a different type of impression altogether. And uh, if you do these things right now during your lull time, it's a great answer to this one standard favorite question of the interviewers. Okay, what did you do in the last 6 months since there was a lull? A lot of people will simply say, they'll start murmuring and they'll really have nothing to say. So ATPL and few of these courses, I think, is a must that you should do during these times.